Hello again, everyone, and welcome to this segment of One-on-One. I'm Martin False. We thought we would shake things up a little bit because Misty McElroy has been all over the place, taking your pictures, involved in your activity some way or another. I thought it'd be nice to get her in front of the cameras and learn a little bit about her. So right after the break, Misty McElroy. One-on-One is brought to you by the Law Office of Waits and Downer. And welcome back to this episode of One-on-One. I'm Martin False, and as promised, Misty McElroy is our guest on One-on-One today. You've seen her around, you've heard her name. She's probably snapped a couple of pictures of you along the way, but now she's in front of the camera. Misty, good to see you.
Hey, good to be here.
You had a pretty wild morning, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, it's always an adventure with me.
Yeah, you were rushing to get to the studio, but you made it. We appreciate you being here. Yeah. All right, let's go way back. You come from a large family, right?
I do.
You had 9 children in your family?
9 children.
And you were number 8?
I'm number 8.
How was it being number 8?
It was interesting because they had 3 children from my mama's first marriage, 3 from my daddy's first marriage, and 3 together. And so it's like the Brady Bunch plus 3. But yeah. Since I was on the younger end, I was the middle child of the second batch of children.
Okay.
And so I was always a middle child, but I only grew up in the household with my 2 brothers.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was just so much younger than my other siblings.
Yeah. So 8 is enough.
Yeah, well, don't tell my little brother that.
What was the age difference? Was it a big gap?
Yes. I want to say it was like 22 years from oldest to youngest.
Yeah. Where did you grow up at?
I grew up in Houma, east side of Houma, same house that my parents still live in.
All right.
With all the Christmas lights.
And you went to Ellender?
I went to Ellender.
I have my assistant, Joni. She went to Ellender.
Yeah, I remember seeing Joni at Ellender.
Yeah, were y'all around the same age?
I believe so. I was 98 grad.
You're very diverse. You're versatile would be a better word. Mm-hmm. You've done a lot of things in your life. But a lot of people see you at all the events. You've been at music, functions all over the place. You're always promoting somebody, so now we're going to promote you a little bit.
Okay.
What was your childhood like? Were you going around with the old Polaroid camera and snapping pictures and waiting for it to develop? Or
No, that was my daddy. My daddy did that. He was always the person with the camera. He had camcorders. He had his old Canon AE1, which I have now, but that's the one I learned on, the old film camera. But he always had a camera in his hand. So there's not so many pictures of my daddy from when I was
it rubbed off on you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was one of those things, like in high school, I was on yearbook staff, and in college, I took a couple of photography courses, and I just enjoyed it. It was just fun.
Yeah. So was it an instant love with photography that you had? Because you look like you enjoy it.
Yes, I do enjoy it. Once I think I realized I could tell stories with pictures, that's when I really got interested in it. Mm-hmm. And I freelanced for the newspaper for a while. Just being able to see the other side, going in people's homes, interviewing them, getting their stories. I realized that the world opens up for you whenever you start telling other people's stories. I was on this side of the wall before. Now I'm on the other side, and I can see sort of behind the curtain, and I really like that.
You expanded your horizons. I guess in expanding, was there like a confidence level where you just kept upgrading your confidence every step of the way? And then now you're all over the place and doing all kind of things, and you seem very comfortable at it. Was there a learning curve?
Absolutely. So I had a couple of mentors along the way, and they really helped me live it, sort of. And then I'm part of other photography groups, and so being at these conferences with other photographers, watching how they do things, they live and breathe it, whereas I use it more of a tool. And so you won't see me with my camera everywhere, right, but I always have my phone. One of the most important phrases in photography or the quotes is, the best camera is the one that you have with you. And now our phones are, the quality is so good that you don't need to have a professional camera with you. But my confidence has gotten better and better over the years. And I think it is watching how people respond to what I put out there. And especially like when I did my tours of downtown Houma, and I went and I took pictures of Abbeville and New Iberia, and I posted them. And people would comment and say, "Oh my God, I haven't been there in so many years. It's so great to see these pictures." So doing that, realizing that you have a purpose, I think helps with the confidence.
Right. Did you live in a dark room when you
I
younger?
actually do not like the dark room.
Really?
People are going to be surprised by that. I didn't enjoy my time in the dark room.
Why, was it creepy to you or something?
No, I'm a multitasker, so I like to either watch TV while I'm doing something, and in the dark room, it was a very singular focused situation, so I had to be in the room just developing, film and paper, and I had one I think I printed 30 times. I was just over it. It's like, this is way too difficult. It's way too trying just to keep burning the same corner over and over and over again.
Doesn't that seem primitive now?
It does. And there are people who still do it and they still enjoy the process.
Really?
Good for them. I am not one
I
of those.
took a photography class at Nichols. I think it was Dennis or Saprosky. What was it?
Saporsky?
Saporsky. I couldn't remember his last name, but I lived in the dark room. I was so fascinated. So I used to go to the Saints games, and that's when they let you have access to everything. Taking pictures of Archie Manning, and I'd go in the dark room, and when you see it come to life, you're going,
that's the coolest part.
I got the shot.
Yes, when you put it in the developer, that's the coolest part. Yeah, agreed.
That was the Chuck Muncie days and the Wes Chandler, and that was when John Gravois was a reporter for the Houma Courier.
Oh, yeah.
And I used to hang out with him in the press box.
Yeah.
Everything was so informal back then. Now
it's not. It's
not
informal.
You can't get on the sidelines. You got to have security. It's pretty crazy stuff.
For all of your cases, including those with catastrophic significance, call Waits and Downer Law Firm.
Talk about your evolution into it. What's the first thing you ever remember recording or taking pictures of?
I believe that it's funny because we used to have the little disposable cameras, or the ones with the flashes that the little bulbs burnt when you took the picture.
Yeah.
And so it was like zoo trips. And what I learned is, like, anytime we take a field trip, I'd take the camera and I would want to take pictures of the animals. And now over time you realize the animals are not that interesting, but the people in the pictures with the animals was really what you wanted.
Yeah.
I do remember photographing sports for Ellender when I was on the yearbook staff. And so that's a pretty early memory.
Did you write the stories too?
I did not.
Okay.
I just wrote the captions.
Okay.
So it was a lesson in how to write captions, which helped me whenever I moved over to freelancing for the paper.
Yeah.
So I knew how to do that already because I did it for the
And
yearbook.
people don't realize captions, especially on YouTube, the caption grabs you.
Yeah.
Now, they bait you a lot nowadays. You'll see the title and you'll go, oh, I got to watch this, and it's totally not what you see. But the caption is what draws everybody in.
Yeah. Well, now it's all clickbait, but before, yeah.
So you had to have a good imagination.
Yeah.
Were you an imaginative child?
I've always been an imaginative person.
Yeah.
I've always had a creative streak about me, which makes life hard in some instances because there's so many options all the time.
So you're a left brain thinker?
Yeah.
All right.
I guess if that's the creative
I
side.
think it's a left. Yeah. Right brain thinkers sometimes can't mesh with left brain thinkers and vice versa, but then they have some that morph into both.
Yeah,
side.
I've done emergenetics, and it shows if you are analytical, structural, social, or conceptual, and mine is almost a quad. So I almost have equal parts of all of them, but I'm bigger on the social piece of the pie.
Yeah.
Well, I was when I took the test. I think now I'd probably be more conceptual, given my role in work and just how I have to think high level about stuff now.
Yeah.
But people would be surprised to know that I am actually an introvert. I'm not an extrovert.
Really?
And I didn't know that about myself until I started testing.
I would have never known it.
Because
So-
I get my energy from being at home. I don't get my energy from being out. People sometimes, they drain me because I think it's because I'm an overthinker and I'm a creative person. And so I think all the time.
So you had to come out of your shell.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a photographer friend who always used their camera as sort of like the way to talk to people. I never really had to do that, but I can see in some instances where that would be helpful, to where you have a purpose here, so it makes it easier to get into the room and talk to people.
Yeah.
I'm not usually the person who strikes up the conversation, but once you get me started, I may not shut up.
That's sort of like the guy who's jogging in the park who has a dog so he can meet the girl.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't, whenever I go out and about, I'm not looking for conversation. In fact, a lot of times if you see me at music shows or at an event, I'm probably just hanging out, waiting for the right moment to snap a picture and not so much talking to people, unless it's like a group of folks that I know really well.
Yeah, you're pretty good at being unseen, because I remember you shot a picture of me and Michelle Kasky on the balcony during Mardi Gras. This beautiful picture. Of course, you caught us right when we were having fun and doing all that, but that's exciting to you when you can take a picture and then you check it. You used to have to go back to the dark room and make sure.
I can check it right now.
Now you can check it right away and you go, got it.
Yep. I love that feeling. And I look for moments that other people, I think, they don't even realize, because I almost approach it as though if someone were documenting my life, what moments would I want them to get? So I could be at a beach watching parents play with their children, and I might take that photo because it's such a great moment. And sometimes I'll walk up to them and say, hey, I got this photo of you. Would you like it? And then I get their email address or whatever so I can send it to them, because I would want that picture if I was that parent.
Well, you just gave me my next question.
Well,
So what parts of your life would you want documented? You've documented everybody else, but what parts would you want people to know about you?
probably me playing with my grandson, because that time is so fleeting. And I cherish the few photos I have whenever I was raising my daughter, just the pictures that me and her together. So those, I mean, you can't ever recreate those moments because they grow so fast.
So the quiet and reflective Misty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The meaningful moments.
Yeah.
Or like me with my parents. It would always be me with the people that I know and love.
Mm-hmm.
For all of your cases, including those with catastrophic significance, call Waits and Downer Law Firm.
I'm sure you have a pretty broad base of people in your life with 9 kids and family and all that. Well, you said it was a 21 or 22 year span, but so you grew up with noise.
Yeah, we grew up with noise.
Yeah.
Especially with my brothers.
Yeah, so you had to learn how to maneuver through noise.
Yeah.
Doesn't that help you in what you do now?
It does. I'm used to the noise, but I do appreciate the quiet. I think the older I get, I appreciate the quiet and just slowing down a little bit. And so I may not go to as many events as I used to, although I still go to a lot. But now I'm a little more deliberate with what I choose to take on. And before it was almost like FOMO, like I didn't want to miss out on anything. I would go to 3 music events in one night and not even bat an eye. Now I'm like, well, I don't know. If I skip this one, I can be in bed for 10.
Right. I could be home again.
Yeah, I could be home with my dogs. Yeah.
Yeah. How many dogs you have?
I have 3.
What kind?
So they're all pit mixes. I have a pit lab mix. He's a big old boy. He's 90 pounds. He actually, I rescued him from Kaplan, from the shelter in Kaplan, and he was in a kennel for 439 days when I rescued him.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the shelter. I got a little black and white boxer pit mix named Moon Pie. And then I have just an American Pit Bull Terrier named Luna, who is everybody's favorite dog.
So your dog food bill is pretty high.
It's pretty high. And replacing mattress covers.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
So not a cat lover, a dog lover.
Right. I'm allergic to cats.
Oh,
Otherwise, I think I would love them because I do like animals.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So tell me the jobs you've been at, what you learned from each one. Sort of take us on your journey.
Okay. Well, my very first job I ever had was at Super Suds. I worked at the car wash.
Really?
Yeah. And
For Miss Carroll?
That was at 15. I don't remember the names of the folks that were there.
Yeah.
It was a really funny story because on the application they ask if you would be comfortable like scrubbing toilets. I'm like, as a 15-year-old, you're like, absolutely not. Like, Mom, they want me to scrub toilets. There's no way I can do this.
Rubber gloves.
Yeah, and so like you end up just doing whatever they ask you to do, and so that comes with the territory.
Yeah.
At one point, I had 3 jobs, and I was babysitting in the afternoon. I worked at Gadzooks. And I worked at Winn-Dixie. I'm trying to think which ones all happened at the same time because that timeline was like college, high school. I don't know. I remember leaving from college, like I stacked all my classes in the morning and then I went to work in the afternoon. So I fill every minute of every day with something at all times.
So you were multitasking again.
Yeah, and so you get to know people that way.
Yeah.
Working at the mall, working at the grocery store, babysitting for people, the babysitting became like long-term relationships. Like those people feel like family to me because I was in their home. I was picking their child up from school, bringing them to tennis lessons, that kind of stuff.
When did you start doing the media kind of stuff?
I did freelance photography for the newspaper, and I believe I was working at Chili's when I did that because my daughter was really young. I was a waitress. And so I was trying to figure out ways to make more money. So freelancing, I had a little bit of background in photography from college. And so it was sort of a natural fit that I would be a freelancer for the newspaper and take pictures. And I used to spend my days driving up and down the bayou trying to find the fishing photo that was going to go in the Thursday paper. And that would stress me out because I'm like, there's nobody fishing on the side of the road this week. Like, I have to find somebody. Right. And so your barriers kind of get broken down by having to go and approach a complete stranger and say, hey, is it okay if I, walk into your life and take your photo? A buddy of mine calls photographers soul stealers because you have that picture forever.
Well, that's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah.
But do many tell you no?
No, not many. I would say maybe 10% tell me no.
Only if they hide from the law? Or
Yeah, I don't
want my wife to know where I'm at.
Some people are really uncomfortable behind the camera, in front, however you want to say that. They don't like having their photo taken. But those people typically will let you know, absolutely not, I don't want my picture taken.
Right.
And they have their reasons.
Yeah.
And good for them for standing up.
I mean, you're a hard person to tell no to.
Well, I don't know. Ask my mom and daddy. I'm not that hard to tell no to.
All right, cool.
For all of your cases, including those with catastrophic significance, call Waits and Downer Law Firm. This one-on-one program has been brought to you by the law offices of Waits and Downer.